So now that we have seen the list of the exponent rules, let's go ahead and practice with some examples, with some actual values. So the first one says 2 to the power of -3, and the question here is to evaluate each of the following expressions if possible. Evaluate is a word in math that we use to mean just find what the answer is going to be. So just compute basically. And the tricky part here is to notice that we have a negative in the exponent, and we have to recall the negative exponent rule, which says we just need to rewrite the expression and remove the minus and just replace it with a plus. And so at this point, 1 divided by 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be the same as 1 over 8, and we're completely done. Next, we have 5 to the power of 0, and according to the 0 exponent rule, anything to the power of 0 is at the end 1. So watch out, it's a 1, not a 0, okay? The only exception to this rule is 0 to the power of 0, which is undefined. So we don't know what the answer to this one is. This is true even when you have a -5 to the power of 0, where the -5 is within the parentheses. So again, in this particular problem, the negative and the 5 are both raised to the power of 0. So the whole thing just turns out to be a 1, and we're finished. Now be careful with this next one. It says -5 to the power of 0. So there are no parentheses in this particular one. So what does that mean? That means that we have a 5 that has an exponent of 0, and the negative is just hanging out. It's not part of the exponent 0. So what do? We just write down negative and then 1, because the 5 to the power of 0 turns out to be the 1, and so that's it. -1 is the solution at the end. Finally, we have -1/2 all to the power of 2. And according to the rules that we mentioned, if you have a product or a fraction raised to the same exponent, that means we're just going to give the exponent to everybody. So we're going to give the -1 a power of 2, and the 2 gets a power of 2. So -1 to the power of 2 is going to be 1, and 2 squared is a 4. The final answer is 1/4.